Welcome to Le Podcast de Philippe. Today, we're going to kind of go beyond the, sleek interfaces and algorithms of AI. We're diving into the human side, the often unseen workforce powering this whole technological revolution. We'll be looking at a new French documentary called Les sacrifiés de l'IA, which translates to The Sacrifices of AI, airing tomorrow on France 2. We've also got some interviews and articles about the documentary to help shed light on the lives and experiences of the data workers.
Yeah, the engine behind it all. It might surprise you to learn that millions of people are working behind the scenes, powering all the AI features we use every single day, from personalized recommendations to facial recognition. And that number is only going to grow as AI becomes even more a part of our lives.
Yeah, it really challenges that idea that AI is this autonomous, almost magical force.
Absolutely. The director of the documentary compares it to a locomotive. Powerful and efficient, but needing coal to function. And in this case, the coal is the data generated and processed by human workers.
And that data work is concentrated in specific regions, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. The documentary focuses on areas like Africa, Southeast Asia, South America, especially Venezuela, and Indonesia, places where economic hardship makes workers more susceptible to exploitation.
So what does this work actually entail? What are these data workers doing day in and day out?
Imagine just spending hours tagging images, labeling data, categorizing content. It's often very repetitive, monotonous, and surprisingly emotionally taxing.
The documentary highlights the psychological toll of this work. One worker describes annotating content featuring child abuse as mental torture.
Yeah, and this raises serious questions about the ethics of this kind of work. These data workers aren't just clicking buttons. They're processing and internalizing potentially disturbing material, all while shrouded in secrecy.
Yeah, that secrecy adds another layer of complexity to it all. The documentary crew even experienced surveillance while filming in Kenya.
Right. Data work often comes with strict confidentiality clauses. And in some places, the consequences for breaking those clauses can be quite severe. It's a hidden world, operating under its own set of rules.
And this hidden world is fueling the AI systems we interact with every single day. It makes you wonder, is this the future we want?
That's the question the documentary poses. It urges viewers to consider the responsibility of individuals, companies, and even governments in shaping the ethical development and deployment of AI.
Yeah, it's a big question for sure, and one we're going to keep unpacking today, so stick with us.
And it's a crucial question, especially when you consider that the coal powering the AI engine comes with a significant environmental cost as well.
So we're not just talking about a human cost, but an environmental one too.
Exactly. AI's just insatiable hunger for data requires these massive data centers which consume vast amounts of energy and resources. Think about the impact on landscapes, water usage, and that ever-growing carbon footprint.
And like the human cost, this environmental burden isn't evenly distributed, is it?
Absolutely not. These data centers are often located in regions already grappling with environmental challenges, further exacerbating existing inequalities. It's a double burden for those communities.
The documentary also touches on the concept of long-termism, a philosophy often used to justify the potential downsides of AI development.
Yeah, long-termism prioritizes the long-term future of humanity, sometimes at the expense of present-day concerns. While the idea has its merits, it can be used to downplay the very real and immediate suffering of these data workers.
Almost like saying the ends justify the means.
Precisely, and it's a dangerous line of thinking. We can't just assume that a brighter future will magically materialize if we ignore the ethical implications of how we get there.
It seems like the documentary is urging us to be more critical and ask tough questions about the true cost of AI progress.
Absolutely. It's about acknowledging that these advancements aren't happening in a vacuum. There are real people and real consequences involved.
The documentary also highlights the challenges of getting these tech giants to engage in these conversations.
Yeah, the filmmakers reached out to several leading tech companies for interviews, but were met with silence. This lack of transparency makes it even harder to understand the full scope of the issue and hold those in power accountable.
Really underscores the importance of independent investigations like this documentary.
Absolutely. We need journalists, researchers, filmmakers to shed light on these hidden realities and challenge the narratives presented by those who stand to profit from the AI revolution.
So what can we as individuals do to address these issues? Is it all doom and gloom, or is there a path forward?
It's not about rejecting AI altogether. It's about being more conscious and informed consumers. Think about the apps you use, the services you subscribe to, the companies you support. Do they align with your values? Are they transparent about their data practices?
So individual choices do matter.
They absolutely do. We can also support organizations advocating for ethical AI development. and push for stronger regulations that prioritize human well-being and environmental sustainability.
It sounds like it's going to take a collective effort from individuals, companies, and governments to ensure that the future of AI is one that benefits all of humanity.
I couldn't agree more. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but the first step is acknowledging the problem and starting a conversation.
Well, this deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about. I'm curious to hear what our listeners think. What are your thoughts on the human and environmental costs of AI? It's a conversation we all need to be having. And if you want to learn more, I highly recommend checking out the documentary Les Sacrifiés de l'IA.
Really powerful film, thought-provoking, dives deep into these issues, gives a voice to those often unheard individuals, the ones behind the AI curtain.
It airs tomorrow, February 11th, 2025 on France 2. Don't miss it.
It's essential viewing for anyone who wants to understand the true cost of this AI revolution and how to contribute to a more ethical and sustainable future for this technology.
And remember, you can find more deep dives like this one right here on the podcast de Philippe.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can hit 1,000 subscribers today.
You're just a few away, and we'd love to have you join our community.
Until next time, keep questioning and keep learning.
En attendant le documentaire Les sacrifiés de l'IA, diffusé mardi 11 février 2025 sur France 2.